He got shit to say, bro. Let's see it. And it's about, you know, potential President Kamala Harris. So yeah.
But I gotta ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit.
Oh my! Damn! Nigga came in like that. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay. I wasn't ready.
In California, she lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. I was out in California for 15 years doing my show when she was at her peak, and she had a reputation amongst the trial lawyers of being lazy.
Okay.
She just hike her skirt up and try to flirt.
He hating because she got to the level she got, but it sounded like he was making it sound like she was just giving up the skins. This ain't the skins. That's just her finessing. Nigga, I ain't mad at the finesse, Joe.
She was
Do that nigga got an AirPod in his ear?
that good in the courtroom. If
That nigga 70-something years old, he got an AirPod. That is an AirPod, y'all.
not pretty bad in the courtroom. So I'm not surprised at what she does. She's 60 years old, and I think listening to her word salad and the way she talks.
Hey, look at his fit though. Yo, peep the fit. Look, my man's got the jean jacket top with the jean pants, and look at the stitching. Yo, Joe and hey.
I think she's got.
He got the buffs? Are these the buffs? Bro, if he got some buffs on, I'm dead, bro. What? Your wrist is heavy. I see it.
Like, what did you say? They have something in mind, but they cannot cognate getting all the way through it, which is why she's famous for this word salad garbage.
He called it word salad garbage.
To make a bit of sense, I think since she's only 60.
Kamala Harris is 60 years old? Kamala Harris is 60 years old. Hey, she look good.
On a worse track than Biden was. Biden is 20-some years older than her. He has been senile for a long time. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, when did they start ramping up to do this? 2019. Okay, I was saying Biden has been a failure his whole adult career, a second-rate, third-string player.
Damn, Jay, he called him a second-rate, third-string guy. Damn.
He's in the game, so he wants to make a name for himself. I considered him for years poor urban trailer parks, and he's a crook.
We're talking, Judge Joe Brown is talking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
He's a third stringer.
That's all we could think of.
Now, what I said he was going to do is he probably wants to claim fame for being the first person to see to it that a woman got to be president. And what I predicted, I'm slightly wrong on it, was that he was going to get in, try to get elected, and if he got one term, try to get elected for a second one. And then halfway through his term, when he had served 2 years, to retire or resign in her favor. So under the 22nd Amendment, what happens is she can serve for the final 2 years for somebody and then be elected twice more, so that woman would be able to serve 10 years, second only to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who got elected to 4 terms before they put the amendment in place so you couldn't. Now, that said, I think, and my major at UCLA was political science.
Okay,
my
UCLA.
analysis is they picked the weakest somebody they could as a figurehead, somebody who had some...
This is mind-blowing to me because I will be the type of person, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Like, if I know I'm crossing lines, I'm good. I am not saying nothing, bro. But Joe don't care. Joe don't freaking care. It sounds like he don't care. And it also shows me that when you get to that judge level, that's when you can start to speak on things that are in that realm. Because it's like, nigga, I'm here every day. It's like I do music. I can speak on things in music because I do that. I know it. I live and breathe it. So he's like, yo, I do this judge thing. I know this like the back of my hand. Y'all can't. Like I'm telling you, she is a hoe. She just kind of lifted it. Basically said she flirted her way to the top, which is cool. I ain't heard him say she slept her way to the top. Heard him say she flirt her way to the top. So, but anyway, just seeing how he talking with so much sternness, and he old. Ain't nobody putting no hit on him. Ain't nobody hating on him. He just speaking. This is why you gotta listen to old people. Lil Uzi, the one who said that old heads is bad and all that, whatever that shit is. But sometimes you gotta listen to these old schools. They gonna give you some game. All right.
Parent minority status, which she does not. And what goes on is that you get her, everybody that is everybody would be afraid to go against her because of what she can pass herself off as. And then you get somebody that's easy to control because she's lazy, because she is becoming incoherent, and because she's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent.
Yeah.
So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one.
Joe! This nigga Joe, bruh. This nigga Joe, man. He a real one, bruh. Did y'all just hear what he said? He said he used to represent pimps and the hoes way back in the day, and he know a hoe when he see her. Get him.
And I say this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's old hoe. And the problem is what is she supposed to do? Go One West Bank. I had some pretty good properties out in California at one point in time. And I know I had 3 neighbors who had good properties. It was in a place called Ojai, California. And they got caught up about 15, 16 years ago, like a lot of people did, in that mortgage bundling scam stuff that was going on. And the Mnuchin that you have out of the Obama administration was Mnuchin, who was the CEO of One West Bank. Well, there were approximately 1,200 counts of indictments returned against Mnuchin and One West Bank in various counties in California. Well, Mnuchin and Soros financed and arranged and sponsored Kamala to run for Attorney General of California. They got her elected. She got in, and using the authority she had.
Yo, I know this might sound boring to some of y'all, but the ones who can handle this, he is explaining how Kamala made it to where she's at now.
And she promptly consolidated all 5,200 counts and dismissed them, and a couple of weeks later, Soros sold One West Bank for $4.2 billion. So after that, they got together and got her finance and got everything organized and made the connections for her, and she got elected to U.S. Senator.
Damn.
Willie Brown made the initial.
So money really makes the world move. Money really makes the world move.
San Francisco. She didn't do a very good job. She had a reputation for giving out the stiffest sentences in the United States of America for simple possession of marijuana in San Francisco, for God's sakes. But it was only to young black men. She's not a parent, never had any children, but she went off on this campaign to lock parents up, some of whom actually were shown to have dropped their children off at the school.
Wow.
But they played hooky, so she was putting them in jail. Their fine daughter that I was married to, we were divorced. She got a whole lot of money, but anyway, out of me.
I was wondering where your ring was, Joe. What's going on? You seem like a classy guy. What happened?
Store they like to patronize on the way home. And it was a good liquor store, but it got held up a lot, so Kamala's solution was not go get the crooks, but close down the liquor store so nobody would be troubled by it. See, that kind of philosophy, or you've got the serial killer who's got 6 victims, and the families are writing protest letters to her, not hurry up and do something, not why are you giving the guy such a light deal, is why don't you let this man plead guilty to life without parole instead of delaying it for 7 years, trying to make political hay out of it. I was caught up in a thing where this woman who was supposed to be a financial specialist wound up embezzling a lot, $1.5 million from me.
Yo, Joe got a legendary voice. I don't know if y'all hear this, man, but he got a legendary voice.
About 15 million from some other black celebrities.
From black celebrities.
And most of it was in the San Francisco area, not LA where I was. She consolidated the cases up there in San Francisco. Took 5 years to resolve it. Let her plead out not the $15 million of embezzlement, but $35,000. The sentence was 5 years in the penitentiary, 4.5 years suspended, 5 years probation. The woman wound up sitting on a bench outside Sybil Branch, which is the women's detention facility in LA County, for 5.5 hours. That's all the time she served, made no restitution. And la-di-da, I'm through with it now, I don't care, on her behalf. Like, where's our money? You know, she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But you know, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black? Now, 2 beautiful women that I thought were sisters on the show, and they laughed one time when we all went to a happy hour and said, "You think we're black, don't you?" "Yeah, aren't you?" "No, we're Hindu." One of them said, "My mother's a Hindu Brahmin caste, my father was Hindu warrior caste. He took an oath to the family to protect her. They fell in love, eloped, and now we got a death warrant on us. We can't go back to India." So, yeah, and then they gave me 2 books. The guys were Hindu, and they were very dark, but they cut their hair off close, grew beards, and started dressing and acting black, and they got financial aid. One of them, I think, went through medical school that way, masquerading for being black, and somebody else did it, so she went to Howard. And by the way,
he just explained that back then, Hindus were passing as black, getting financial aid, clutching the fuck up, and getting the money that they needed, and succeeding in life. Which means that we have no fucking excuse.
She told one big lie when she was talking about she got bust because of something Biden did when she was running against him. Well, the yearbook that she put out there that you can still get online from her high school in Canada shows she went from kindergarten through 12th grade in Canada, never went to school in the United States of America. She was born, by the way, in the same hospital that my ex-wife was born in, the same 12-month period, and my late mother-in-law was in fact a pediatric nurse in that hospital when Kamala was born. And the birth certificate that she has is interesting because the confusion comes from a mistake. On the birth certificate, it lists the mother's race as Caucasian, national origin India, and religion Hindu. For the father, it does not list national origin, it does not list religion, it does not list anything about that, but where it says race, they put national origin in Jamaica by mistake.
National.
If you've ever been to Jamaica and you go over to St. Elizabeth Parish, you see all the high, bright, and white that live in Jamaica. So I've got a good friend retired from law enforcement. He has a white wife, blonde-haired, blue eyes, but she was born in Jamaica. Her parents were born in Jamaica. One's blonde and blue-eyed, the other one's red-haired and gray-eyed. And they happen to be related to the King of England because they are aristocrats in England, but they were born in Jamaica. So if you go over there, you see...
Joe, you got to get some water, bro. I know I got seeds in my mouth, paws, like sunflower seeds. But you gotta get some water. Nigga, you keep choking on your own words.
New Zealand,
what up,
Australia, Kenya, South Africa, you name it. It's part of the British Commonwealth and nobody needed a passport and you could just go in and out. So it's not unusual. You're not black just because you're from Jamaica, and you have a whole lot of white people that never left and their ancestors owned a lot of slaves. The Maroons went up into the hill country and got themselves free back in the 1840s, but, you know, other than that, it is what it is in Jamaica. Just because you're from that country does not mean you are of the black race. So the problem is why don't you go get your daddy to give you an affidavit that you have a black ancestor? And since the only possible claim you have is through your great-grandmother, who he says was a Hindu house servant, that just happens to be swarthy, where'd you get your blackness from? See, you're faking it again. The worst human beings you will ever find are career prosecutors. Something slimy about them. They are so turned off by humanity and everything else. They don't care. They're trying to win the game. It is just play to them. They don't give a damn about the people they represent. They just want to win. So they lie, cheat, steal to win the game. And that brings up the other thing, where the Supreme Court of California ordered her to produce the evidence that was exculpating to somebody sitting up on death row that she had hidden. They did that over and over and over again with her hiding this evidence. Now, there are exceptions to this rule with career prosecutors, but if you ever want to sleazy somebody, find yourself a career prosecutor who's never done anything else but that until they have moved up. Now, there are people like that, and you got Kamala, who was a career prosecutor, and that's essentially all she's done outside of moving directly over into politics. They tend to be crooks. They're not good people.